Exuma Land and Sea Park. The Exumas are a yachtsman's paradise. In the 1980s, citizens became concerned about the park's declining marine resources due to uncontrolled fishing. Since enforcing a no-take policy in 1986, the Bahamas National Trust has seen the fisheries come back. And now it's once again a haven for divers, yachtsmen, and visitors from all over the world. However, more pressure is being placed on these marine resources. As fish stocks dwindle in other parts of the Bahamas, protecting the marine resources from poachers within the park is important so they can breed and restock the ocean. More than 3/4 of the Bahamas population live on New Providence Island, making it the most densely populated island in the wider Caribbean region. The Bahamas National Trust is undertaking an ambitious campaign to expand its facilities and the parks on New Providence. Eric Carey, the Trust's executive director, explains.
Our goal is to develop these parks into places where Bahamians can bring their families to enjoy nature. We want to provide Bahamians the opportunity to take their families bird watching, kayaking along boardwalks at Harlan Wilson's Pond and Bonefish Pond National Parks and witness the unique nature of the Bahamian natural environment.
One success is that the Bahamas National Trust began a nature program for Bahamas youth called the Discovery Club.
One of the most important values that I've learned from being in the Discovery Club is that it's our responsibility to take care of the environment and that we must take steps to help and protect it.
Conservationists have worked with the Bahamas government to create 25 national parks covering over 700,000 acres of land and sea. These parks span from Walker's Cay, Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Andros, Exumas, Conception Island, Crooked Island, and Little and Great Inagua. While the government of the Bahamas provides considerable funding support for the national park system, the Trust still needs additional funds to acquire more patrol boats, develop better facilities, create educational programs, and hire additional staff. The Bahamas National Trust must depend mainly on private donations to continue protecting these national treasures. If you wish to see these pristine parks treated with the respect and protection they deserve for your children and their children, then please support the Bahamas National Trust.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, police cracking down on a ring that targets a wide range of vehicles. Also, it's nomination day for the taxi union. And the local chapter of DST exemplifying sisterhood and service. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, morning, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Rolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, police officials cracking down a ring that targets catalytic converters from all types of vehicles. Tonight, Press Liaison Officer Stephen Roll is sharing how thieves are becoming more creative to get their hands on this metal car part. And he says what you should be doing to not fall victim. Here's the report. 13 catalytic converters stolen from November to January. Press Liaison Officer ASP Stephen Roll says recently numerous complaints of stealing has been reported to the police, and upon their investigations they were able to bring some of these matters to a close.
What we have seen during our investigation, the time doesn't matter. They cut those converters out all hours of the day, but mostly in the night times you'll find these persons removing these catalytic converters, especially from mechanic shops. For the most part, we've been getting reports from the residents where their catalytic converters have been removed from their vehicles. We also had a few reports from mechanic shops where they had customers' vehicles at their location, and the catalytic converters were removed from those vehicles.
The converter is a car part that thieves are desperate to get their hands on. It's a part of a system that cleans out pollutants and prevents them from entering the atmosphere. But thieves are sawing off the catalytic converters in order to get their hands on a few grams of the world's most valuable metal. It is a problem not just here, but also in the United States. So, just what are the local culprits doing with this car part?
Converters are being exported to America for the fiber that's inside of those catalytic converters.
Now, 4 men are in custody, and they range from the ages of 20 to 35.
Sometime this morning, those 4 individuals will appear before the courts. To answer those charges, they would have removed those converters from poisonous vehicles.
Police also say depending on how high the vehicles are, it is propped up using a jack, then disengaged with a saw, and within a matter of 2 minutes, this valuable part is gone. Some of these converters recovered are from heavy-duty equipment and cause an unsuspecting motorist up to $2,500 to replace. Roll is leaving this bit of advice.
We just want to advise the public, if your vehicle is broken down on the side of the street, do your endeavor best to have it removed as soon as possible. Because leaving your vehicle at that location, you're giving persons the opportunity to go and try and remove your catalytic converter, or even break into your vehicle and remove your valuables. When it comes to the business owners, we want to say to them, if you're having your persons' vehicles inside your premises to do repairs, ensure that the property is properly secured, either by cameras, guard dogs, even a human security.
Meantime, police reporting 2 armed robberies over the weekend, the latest taking place in the area of Beaconsfield on Sunday morning. Reports reveal that an elderly man was approached by an unknown assailant while at his home preparing his meal. The assailant reportedly entered the residence through the kitchen door and approached the elderly man from behind. The suspect then placed an object against the elderly man, demanding cash. Police say the elderly man handed the suspect an undetermined amount of cash, and he then fled the scene. Now, another armed robbery was also reported on Friday night. An adult male was sitting in his parked gray 2010 Ford F-150 truck on Friday night using his cell phone when he was approached by 2 masked men brandishing firearms. The gunmen ordered the driver out of his vehicle, searched him, and then made off with his truck. Now, police say the F-150 truck was later recovered abandoned on Dampere Drive. And police are on the hunt tonight for 3 men wanted for various offenses. 35-year-old Kevin McPhee, he is wanted on the charge of assault with a deadly weapon. McPhee is 5 feet 11 inches tall, 150 pounds, dark brown complexion, slim built. His last known address is Tamron Street. The next suspect is Jonathan Moore, aka Johnny, age 22, of Grenfell Avenue. He is wanted for causing grievous harm. Moore is of dark complexion, 5 feet 9 inches tall, 150 pounds, and thin built. 30-year-old Lyndon McPhee, also of Tamron Street, is also wanted by police on the charge of assault with a deadly weapon. He is 5 feet 10 inches tall, 160 pounds, dark brown complexion, and of slim build. If you can help the police locate these men, you are asked to contact 352-1919, 350-3106, or the nearest police station. U.S. media is reporting that 27-year-old Bahamian boat captain Jeremy Christopher Roll was sentenced to 60 months in prison for attempting to smuggle and aiding and abetting migrants into the United States. Based on Florida court records, Roll operated a 26-foot motorboat to transport 16 migrants from Bimini to the east coast of Florida in June of last year. One of the migrants was a Jamaican national who was removed from the U.S. in 2018 after serving 14 years on the charge of murder. The Jamaican man, Marvin Cardis, also pled guilty to illegal entry and was sentenced to 42 months in prison. 54-year-old Bahamian Andrew DeVoe and Payam Zagar of the UK were also charged and pleaded guilty to illegal entry. They will be sentenced later this month. Switching gears now, it has been some 16 days now since value-added tax was reduced from 12% to 10% across the board on all goods and services. Tonight, the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce is weighing in on this change. Our Jamila Mizik reports.
The Davis administration delivering on a promise made in its blueprint for change. On January 1st, value-added tax was reduced from 12% to 10% across the country. President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Greg LaRota, weighing in on the decision.
I believe that from a business standpoint, enough time was given for persons to adjust their prices, to comply with the new change. And so I think that was good, that that time was given up front.
However, he says in terms of the impact,
if I keep my comments strictly to the business side of things, I believe that it would help in terms of persons who are looking to make large purchases, meaning this would be the time to invest in real estate, to probably get a mortgage if you could afford it, because 2% on a large number is a lot of money.
He says, on the other hand, persons on the lower income side of things may be affected.
Persons who normally spend within the community to keep the small businesses going, I think the net effect for them may be paying more in VAT as opposed to less. And I'm saying that from the standpoint of the items that we refer to as breadbasket items has gone from 0 to 10%. So those persons would find themselves probably with less money available to spend into the economy and help to keep some of the struggling small businesses going.
Breadbasket items, which were once VAT-free, now have the 10% VAT rate applied to those items.
So that's one thing that I would probably like to see the government revisit in terms of the VAT on breadbasket items, even if only in the economic recovery zone area, so that we can have more money to spend within the zone to help speed up the recovery efforts.
Now, the Ministry of Finance issued a statement regarding the Special Economic Recovery Zone Order 0 rating on construction services, noting that VAT and duty exemptions have been extended to December 1st, 2022 for household furniture, furnishings and appliances, hardware supplies, building materials, electrical fixtures and materials, and plumbing fixtures and materials. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Well, today was nomination day for the Grand Bahama Taxi Union. Members vying for executive positions filed the necessary documents at the Department of Labor. Incumbent President Harold Curry is seeking a second term in office, while Clement Pinder hopes to be elected as transportation chairman for a fourth consecutive time. Geraldine Dean nominated for the position of General Secretary. Topping the list of challenges facing the new administration, the need for more cruise business and a decrease in membership. hardship.
We couldn't work because of, like I said earlier, because of the condition, the country we're in. But once we get some ships coming in here and we get back on our feet, because right now we're ready to work. We got 2 nice buses ready to work and ready to help us out as well. But they couldn't work because no jobs, any for them to work as yet. So, but moving forward, once we get a team and we do team work, we work together, the unit will move forward.
We'd like to get the help also from the government. You know, I know they are trying their best to help us, but we really like to know if they can help us as a union. Because right now the union is in trouble. And any which way they can help, we will appreciate it. So I'm hoping that this team that is coming in now, that will help us push it further.
We have to petition the government and the Port Authority to see if they can get some more business here into Grand Bahama. Once the business increase, the airport's open, the hotel opens, then we should be okay. We should be able to pay the bills. As is now, if your member have to choose between paying its bills or becoming financial in the union, you're going to pay your bills and feed your children. So if the drivers have more money in their pockets, our membership will increase.
The taxi union elections will be held on February 7th. The Bahamas National Trust facilitating a community-based conch project, that is, a conch farming initiative in East Grand Bahama. Now, the idea is to have conch fishers engage in a robust program which creates sustainable markets for conch products. Some program participants recently had an opportunity to participate in a learning exchange abroad. Tonight, they are sharing that experience. Here again is Jamila Mizik.
The community-based conch management pilot project was made possible by the Inter-American Development Bank and the Japanese Poverty Alleviation Fund. According to BNT Science Officer Jules Benaby, the project has been going on for some time now, and they have been working with the fishers and residents of McLeanstown and Sweetings Key, and a few of those residents were able to participate in a learning exchange abroad. Benaby says the trip provided exposure for the residents of East Grand Bahama to sustainable practices that are happening in the region.
We were able to target Puerto Rico, and specifically Naguabo, Puerto Rico, where there is a conch hatchery as well as a fishing association that is well established there. We were able to work with partners there of a local nonprofit, and we were able to take 5 residents and mostly fisher women actually down to Puerto Rico, where they can actually take part in learning about sustainable fishing practices, how other resource users in the community and in the region, are using their resources and actually doing so in a sustainable way.
Program participant Sophia Higgs is sharing her experience.
It was exciting to see how they had a cooperation where they came together, where they built in the community, where all the fishermen came together and they sell their catch. No matter how much it was, they were obligated to purchase it, and they went out every day. And how it was that there were limited amount of conch that they are able to catch a day, each person. What I took away from it is the unity that they had, the bonding, the relationship that they had with the fishermen. That was kind of amazing to me, and knowing that if you come together in unison, that you can accomplish a whole lot of stuff.
Another participant, Taria Davis, says she was a part of the conch farming initiative in East Grand Bahama and thought it would be an interesting experience to see how conch is produced elsewhere.
When they was talking about the conch farm that we produced, that we put together in Sweetings Key, and I went back and saw what they put together back in Puerto Rico, was really outstanding, because they actually take the conch eggs from the water, carry to land in their own scientific way, and bring it to its natural being in a conch shell. And I've never seen a conch come from egg to a shell. I always wanted to know, and I actually learned that. And it was really, really, really interesting, and it was really outstanding to me. I just want to thank BNT for the very interesting project that they put together, and I hope we could continue to work better together, because the East End and Grand Bahama definitely needs it.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
That's going to take us to our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Come on down. Come on down now.
Look, I don't know who Sean they think I am, all right? I only win 2 BAISS championships. I deal with connectivity.
Alive. What do we got?
Well, we are 100% Bahamian owned, and we inspired all Bahamians to believe in best. And we delivered on revolutionizing telecommunications in the Bahamas. Not to mention, our network works in the good days and the bad.
Thank you. But I need you to go faster. Be better.
At Pizza Hut Freeport, you can enjoy 2 medium Pizza Hut one-topping pizzas, pan-thin crust, and a 2-liter Coke for just $23.05. Get your pizza your way for only $23.05.
Fact inclusive.
Pick your toppings and order today. Call Pizza Hut downtown at 352-9191 or Pizza Hut East Sunrise Highway, 373-8500. Pizza Hut Freeport.
Hello, I am Constable 3399 Alexander Williams of the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. Did you know that in October 2019, amendments were made to the Road Traffic Act? These amendments included such offenses as driving without having in your possession your insurance certificate, which carries a fine of $200, driving while not having in your possession your driver's license, which carries a fine of $40, driving while using an electronic communication device, which carries a fine of $500, driving while having an open alcoholic beverage, which also carries a fine of $500. Road safety is all of our responsibility. Join us as we work together to create safer communities.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she licking her lips and moving them hips like, come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated celebrating 109 years of sisterhood, scholarship, service, and social action this past Thursday. The local chapter continues to work diligently to promote educational development, economic development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement among its membership, which is the basis of the sorority's 5-point programmatic thrust. Well, this past Saturday was spent at the Beacon School continuing its beautification project. Here's the report. In true Delta Sigma Theta form, there was sisterhood and singing.
My GBAC, my sisters and me.
Stepping.
All for what? Our founder stood.
And service, as the ladies of the Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter continued with its beautification program at the Beacon School. The sorority celebrating 109 years on Thursday. And president of the local chapter, Arlie Thompson, says the aim is to continue to promote the vision of the sorority's 22 founders.
109 years of living our legacy. Us here, the ladies of the Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated have decided to put on a week-long set of activities focusing on our sisterhood, service, scholarship, and social action emphasis that our sorority stands on. We started off the week with our physical and mental health being a highlight. We went into a lot of different sisterhood activities. We focused on our social action campaigns. And now today we have our Educational Development Committee Chair, Sora Evelyn Glinton, and our Vice President here who's over all of our program planning development.
GBAC culminated the week of events at the Beacon School, where a beautification program is ongoing. Vice President Martha Edgecombe says on Saturday, the chapter ended the week by doing what Deltas do best: service to the community.
Educational development is one of our thrusts, one of the things that we thrive on. And so we've decided this year that we would adopt the Beacon School. And so today is not the first day that we've been here, and it's not the last day either. We have a beautification program that's going on now at the Beacon School, where we would have had some planters, beautification of the benches, beautification of their playground.
Delta Sigma Theta sorority is the largest Black Greek letter sorority in the world, with over 350,000 members. Some of the local programs include a diabetes health fair, a Reach for the Stars for the most improved primary school student, the Elimination of Violence Against Women campaign, financial fortitude, housing ownership, and the chapter is also an award-winning chapter for its work in the community.
Now, also, of course, you know, everything has a cost attached to it. And so we've contributed much to the plants that we've brought here. We've contributed a lot to the paint that we would have used to supply for our beautification program. And so what I would like for the community to know is, at this time, while we are celebrating our 109 years of existence, we also have, at this time, an initiative going on.
To the public and our corporate sponsors, we want to encourage you as we celebrate continuing to live our legacy at 109 years of service. We want to ask you to continue to reach out to our local organization and support us in all of our initiatives. You'll hear from us, you'll see from us. Help us serve you. Help us make Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas a better place. The ladies of the Grand Bahama Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, thank you in advance.
Now, this just in, police officials confirming that one of the three suspects wanted earlier in this evening's newscast was arrested. Kevin McPhee was wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. Again, he has been arrested moments ago. A check on sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. It was a busy weekend in sports. In case you missed it, let's take a look. In college track and field, what a debut it was for the track season for Grand Bahamian sprint sensation Terrence Jones, competing for the first time in the 60 meters. Jones started to turn heads after clocking in a time of 6.53 in the semifinals heat for the second fastest time in school history. In the finals, Jones got off to a great start and kept the momentum going for a blistering time of 6.45 seconds for a new school record while tying the NCAA mark, which is also now the fastest time in the world. Switching gears now, the 2022 NFL playoffs kicked off on the weekend, and Super Bowl 56 is right around the corner. It took them 31 years, but the Bengals can once again call themselves winners of a playoff game. The Bengals defeated the Raiders 26-19, which is their first playoff win since 1991. The Bills dominated the Patriots 47-17 to open their playoff run. The Buccaneers began their title defense with destruction over the Eagles. Final score in that game was 31-15. The Kansas City Chiefs advanced with a dominant 42-21 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what was perhaps the best game of the playoffs so far, the 49ers took a 23-7 lead into the fourth quarter. They let the Cowboys back in, but then slammed the door in the home team's face. The 49ers held on for a 23-17 upset. It was way more dramatic than the 49ers would liked it, and way less satisfying on the ending of the Dallas Cowboys. Over at the Grand Bahama 49ers headquarters on Queens Highway at the Pool Room, the Niners fans celebrated in grand style. And finally in sports, Chavez Young and his Myers Gores teams played in 2 games on the weekend in the Puerto Rican Pro Baseball Finals. His team lost game 1 2-1. Young went 0-1 from the plate with 2 walks and a sacrifice bunt. However, they came back and tied the series, taking game 2 6-4. Young went 1-4 from the plate with a single RBI and a stolen base. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience island bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Someone take my bag. Call the police. Someone took my bag. Someone took my bag with my point. I leave the car for 1 quick second and someone take my bag.
Crime prevention should be everyone's business. Therefore, we want to remind you not to leave your bags or valuables visibly seen on the seat of your vehicle unattended. This negligent practice will create an opportunity for a criminal to commit a crime. Please desist from such practices.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
Almost everyone will become a pedestrian at some point in time in their lives. Whether we're driving or walking, we all have a shared responsibility in knowing and following the rules of the road. Pedestrians should do their part by following traffic signals, using crosswalks or intersection, or by walking facing oncoming traffic if they must be on the road. And just like drivers should not be distracted, the same rule applies for pedestrians. Let us all do our part in making pedestrian safety a priority. After all, it's about creating safer communities. I am WPC 3428 Bean of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Traffic Division, Grand Bahama.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Ginger Fulford Morris, you are our Facebook friend of the night. We say thank you for your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the world gets a glimpse into the landscape, hospitality, heritage, and culture of the Bahamas at Expo 2020 Dubai. The Family Islands eyed for a lucrative cannabis industry. An alleged serial murderer appears in court. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC's Superfast Extreme Internet Bundle. Make Christmas sparkle. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapendo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis welcomed the world to the Bahamas from another hemisphere this week as he addressed World Expo 2020 in Dubai. It was a huge opportunity to yield to the visitors the country craves, especially as it makes a comeback from the debilitating effects of COVID-19. Keishla Adderley leads us off tonight.
world away from home, and with the help of a 100-member strong delegation, the Prime Minister is drumming up support for all things Bahamian and sending out a mass invitation.
On our National Day here in Dubai at Expo 2020, I hope I'm permitted to say, welcome to the Bahamas.
The world is getting a taste of what the Bahamas is all about via Expo 2020 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And it's definitely something to write home about. As the world looks to regain its footing amidst the challenges of COVID-19, this dance troupe perhaps hoping to dance on the grave of the pandemic and push the tourism revival by getting even larger yields of far-flung tourists singing our tune. The Prime Minister noted it was an opportunity to bond.
We consider Expo 2020 fundamentally to be about the relationship between the peoples of the world, the promotion of friendship and cooperation through culture, and the unyielding capacity of human beings to pursue a higher order of civilization through innovation and adaptation.
And of course, that would not be complete without Junkanoo. And on that note, the Bahamas leave the world with an experience we hope they'll come and see firsthand on home soil time and time again. Michelle Adderley, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas and the United Arab Emirates beginning fruitful relations as both countries sign a memorandum of understanding to provide technical assistance. A provision in that agreement is to have at least 50% of its participants females. Foreign Affairs and Public Service Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, and Minister of State for Foreign Affairs in the UAE, His Excellency Sheikh Shakbut bin Nahyan Al Nahyan, signed the agreement today. Both the Bahamas and UAE are committed to working together on several fronts for the mutual advancement of both countries. The exchange of information is seen as invaluable as the Bahamas continues to push through the setbacks of the pandemic toward national and economic growth. Well, patrons watching the Bahamas take the stage at World Expo 2020 left excited after watching the performances.
Everything I've seen at Expo is in top 5. Amazing show, amazing show. Everybody's telling that we want to visit Bahamas. If Bahamas is like this, we're going to visit soon.
Very nice experience and very good for song and very good music. Very nice for enjoy music, and secondly I very enjoy for dance.
Yeah, everyone was we really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And your performance was brilliant, especially the song "The Brown Girl in the Ring."
Yes,
I had heard it in my childhood and I heard it again today, so it was brilliant.
Wow.
Really enjoyed it.
Back here at home, Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, is weighing in on the continued furor over the amount of money the government has spent, the size of the delegation, and those participating in Expo 2020 over in Dubai. As Cleopatra Murphy tells us, officials within the Office of the Prime Minister deem it a justified expense, and Cooper agrees.
Acting Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper is defending the government's spend and the size of the more than 100-strong delegation that traveled to Dubai to represent the Bahamas at Expo 2020. There has been public outcry as well as criticism from the Free National Movement over the $1 million that Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Raming, says government budgeted for the trip, a sum he says was down from the $1.7 million approved by the Minister Cabinet. Cooper, hitting back, says the Minister administration did little for international relations, while Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is taking the helm.
Let me just say that we are looking forward to regaining our space and our place in the world. We found that the former administration did not bring much focus to international relations. We are pressing forward abroad. Our Prime Minister is taking the role as promoter-in-chief to create opportunities and investment opportunities and touristic opportunities for our people.
Cooper says he is pleased the Bahamas is showcasing its art and culture to the world, something that has also been criticized, with questions asked over how the delegation was selected, seeing as Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister Clint Watson and his group Shabak are also on that trip. As for the likelihood of the Bahamas ever hosting a cultural showcase on the scale of Expo 2020, Cooper says it requires a lot, and the Bahamas has to live within the resources it has.
We know, for example, that the UAE government has spent in excess of $3.5 million on the Bahamas Pavilion alone. So if you multiply that by the 160 countries around the world that they have supported in being there, you will see that it's a large undertaking. We are building diplomatic relations with the UAE as well, and therefore it is important that we have a proper showing in Dubai.
Former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, has also criticized government, suggesting the money spent on Dubai could have gone to other priorities in light of the country's economic situation, also highlighting the moratorium on cabinet ministers traveling during the COVID-19 pandemic when he held office.
I don't have a lot to say about anything that Dr. Minnis proffers or what he has said previously. Let me just tell you that our administration understands that the Bahamas is a country that punches above its weight class. We have done so before in culture, we've done so before in business, we've done so before in sports. We will continue to do so.
Along with the $1 million from government and the $3.5 million spent on the Bahamas Pavilion by the UAE, the Bahamian private sector contributed $500,000 for the Dubai Expo. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, recently appointed Deputy Director General of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, has been bumped up, albeit in an acting capacity, as Director General of Tourism. This is Joy Jibrilu prepares to exit the top post. Here's Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, on Jibrilu's absence.
Mrs. Jibrilu is officially on pre-retirement leave. Mrs. Duncombe, who is a distinguished executive in marketing and sales, will be acting Director General. I'll have more to say in due course. We have a very deep bench at the Ministry of Tourism. We have very senior, long-standing executives, and we are delighted for the contributions made by Mrs. Jibrilu over the past 8 years. Tourism and the country is better off as a result of her contributions.
The Bahamas will not be reducing cruise tourism, despite the Pan American Health Organization's suggestion to do so in the face of the Omicron variant leading to another surge in COVID-19 cases and some of those outbreaks on a number of cruise ships. However, Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, says the issue isn't up for consideration.
We are fully behind the cruise industry. We are supportive of their arrival. We expect their arrivals to continue over the course of the next several weeks, as we have been seeing during the months of November and December. Some days we've had 5 ships in the harbor. We are satisfied that the cruise lines, notwithstanding the challenges of COVID, have put in place sustainable protocols. These protocols we have tested and proven throughout the course of the pandemic. We are consistently looking at the protocols that we have for air travel, and we are supportive of ongoing arrivals of the cruise business.
Meantime, the Centers for Disease Control again amended its travel advisory to the Bahamas from a level 2 to a 3 amid the uptick in COVID cases, which Cooper argues is not necessarily surprising. Instead, he says the government is working closely with the Cruise Association to strike the right balance of protecting public health and safety while continuing to grow the #1 sector.
As a result of Omicron, case levels have gone through the roof, and the reality of where we are now is that we expect in the future that ratings will fluctuate. We've been a level 2 only just recently, and therefore we anticipate that as the pandemic isn't over, we haven't seen the end of it, we're going to continue to be very measured in the protocols that we put in place. We are going to continue to monitor the reports of the international community, CDC, and other such entities.
Interregional trade and transportation, combating and resolving the COVID-19 pandemic, border safety, Haiti security issues, all discussed during the 48th meeting of the Community Council of Ministers held virtually this past Friday. Acting Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, led the delegation, comprising Bahamas High Commissioner Designate to the Bahamas, Her Excellency Leslia Miller-Bryce. High Commissioner Designate Bryce highlighted the country's position on Haiti, as well as the preparedness to offer assistance to the Haitian government by training Haitian police and Coast Guard officers in order to strengthen and build Haiti's security capacity. These talks prelude the upcoming 33rd intersessional meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in Belize, February 28th through March 1st. Well, still to come, a man formally charged with 3 separate homicides and Fidelity Banks rebranded. We'll be back right after this. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Trevor became the value hunter. Get a KFC fill-up with one-piece tender, juicy chicken, a hot buttery biscuit, golden brown fries, and a soda for only $5, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. WhatsApp hi to 557-3663 KFC Nassau. So good.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Police are looking for 5 men wanted for questioning in connection with murder. And with your help, they can find them. Here's what Assistant Police Commissioner Kenwood Taylor revealed during a virtual press conference this afternoon.
Adari Wright. He's age 23 years old. His last known address was Wrights Lane, Fox Hill. Secondly, we have Arlinsky Karistal, aka Kino Carstill, aka World Boss. His age is 19 years old. His last known address is Golden Isles Road. Help us to bring him into custody. We want to question him. Thirdly, we have Vernal Stubbs, age 26, last known address, Slave Street, Ridgeland Park. Fourthly, we have Byron Demerit, age 28 years. His last known address is Garden View Estate. Last but not least, Perry Pickering, age 29 years old, of Dorset Alley.
Well, Acting Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez reserving comments on the Leon Griffin murder investigation. Safe to say it's ongoing. Griffin was shot and killed in the driveway of his Winton home on Christmas Eve.
Bahamian, and the matter is still under active investigation, although we have one individual going to court this afternoon, but he is being concerned with others, and we are still continuing our investigation. So I don't wish to speak to that at this time to tamper with the case as we move forward.
Well, as indicated, one suspect was today charged with Leon Griffin's murder. Antoine Smith has the story.
For the next few months, 20-year-old DeMargio Lockhart will eat, sleep, and live behind bars at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. This, the end result of his arraignment today in connection with the December 23rd killing of Jasmine Drive resident and well-known businessman Leon Griffin. According to police reports, it was shortly after 8 on the day in question when officers headed to Griffin's Eastern New Providence home. There, they found the deceased slumped over the wheel of a parked vehicle with a gunshot wound to the head. Griffin's wife, former Minister of Social Services Melanie Griffin, made the gruesome discovery. The shocking death of the former taxi cab unionist was initially reported as an armed robbery gone awry, but days later, Commissioner of Police Paul Roll dismissed those claims. As for Griffin's alleged killer, Lockhart was also charged with the August 14th killing of Lanisha Ambrister and the attempted murder of Drazen Dean. You can add to that attempting to murder Leonardo Colley back on November 28th. Now Lockhart, who was placed on remand at the Bahamas Department of Corrections, was not required to enter a plea. The Charles Vincent Street resident is scheduled to appear in court on April 28th and May 9th for service of voluntary bills of indictment. Antoine Smith, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, 27-year-old Shaquille Bodie and 18-year-old Tario Monroe stood in the magistrate's court today to be formally charged with the October 29th murders of Kenneth Yulin and Gromiko Simonet and Justin Cash. From what authorities shared with the media, it was shortly after 7 when police were called to the front porch of a home on Prison Lane. That's where they found 2 men dead on the scene. The third victim in the incident, Cash, died in hospital. Bail was denied for the accused, all of whom were not required to enter a plea. They will instead return to court on April 28th for service of a voluntary bill of indictment. Darius Hall was also arraigned on a slew of criminal charges, 3 of which were in relation to a triple shooting that ended the life of one. Hall, who also answers to Sleepy Kid, was charged before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt with 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. Court dockets allege that on the 22nd of December, while being concerned with others, Hall intentionally and unlawfully caused the death of David Gray. He's also accused of attempting to murder Carlos Newland and Chavez McPhee. However, Hall's troubles don't end there. The 21-year-old was also charged alongside 21-year-old Ashton Wilson with possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of a prohibited firearm, and 2 counts of possession of ammunition. Prosecutors allege the 2 were found together on Monday, January 10th, having in their possession a black and silver 9mm pistol and a black AR American tactical high-powered weapon, serial numbers erased. The DO denies the charges. Wilson is scheduled to return to court on January 20th for a bail hearing, while Hall, due to the nature of the charges against him, will appear in court on May 4th for service of a VBI. Well, still on court news this evening, the Court of Appeal has upheld the murder and attempted murder convictions and sentences of appellant D'Angelo Adderley. Adderley was sentenced to 35 years behind bars for killing Sharia Curry back in September of 2016. He was also given a 15-year prison term for the attempted murder of Shanko Smith. However, he filed an application for an extension of time to appeal his convictions, citing the reason for his delay as not knowing how to go about his appeal through the system. Adderley also complained, among other things, the judge did not adequately and fairly assess the identification evidence and that the verdict was unsafe and unsatisfactory. After hearing arguments from both sides, the court refused his application and upheld his convictions and sentences. The panel explained that Adderley's appeal was nearly 2 years out of time and his explanation unacceptable. Well, Fidelity Bank's got a new look, a rebranding that solidifies its efforts to improve services throughout the country. Carla Palmer reports.
Beginning with a change in employees' uniforms, Fidelity is rebranding and upgrading its services. Chief Executive Officer at the financial institution, Gowan Bow, says while pushing toward expanding its customer base and its bottom line, mutual financial health is being touted as the bank's overall objective.
We are wearing orange shirts not because we have decided that we want to be the most colorful institution around. When you think about orange, we think about vitamin C. We think about our physical health. At Fidelity, we always preach and have financial coaching and talking about financial health. But we want to now bring those two together. When you have financial health, it helps with your mental health, and that helps with your physical health.
For the bank and its customers, this new year will bring new initiatives, which will include merchant services, as well as a move to digital banking.
We have a prepaid employee card that says you can actually load up persons, that their salaries and wages on a card, and now as we encourage persons in the Family Islands to get onto merchant services, having the terminals, if your employees get it on a card and they can spend it throughout the community, do they need to walk into an institution as it relates to cash?
The bank has seemingly taken every aspect of digital financial transaction into account.
On the lending front, certainly as it relates to the visibility and the availableness of those, or availability rather, of our personnel being in those various locations. So again, being able to submit your KYC documents electronically, being able to submit your loan applications electronically, being able to get a response in the same timeline as if you walked into an institution, and then have your money distributed wherever you need it to be.
Fidelity Bank's president, Gregory Bethel, says automated banking machines will be strategically established throughout the country. With 5 branches here in New Providence, one on Grand Bahama, and another to reopen soon on Abaco, he notes the benefits of an established, fully Bahamian financial institution.
We are Bahamians making decisions very quickly from the Bahamas. The shareholders, the executive team, all of us live here. And we plan to be here for the rest of our life. We're not going anywhere. We're in the community. We belong to the various civic organizations, to the churches, you know. Our family members are our customers and our greatest critics. So there's not this distant head office with no connection and no sensitivity to the culture or to the people. We are just like the people because we are the people.
In the face of constant change towards improvement, executives of Fidelity Bank say one thing will remain constant, and that's their motto of Fidelity Bank, we're good for you. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, attended the Bahamas Great Exuma Classic, where he said this event was very beneficial to the industry.
This event is great for Exuma. It's great for our family islands. Sports is important in our culture, and for tourism, of course. The economic benefit is significant. We have hundreds of persons traveling from abroad here for these events. Family and friends come. This is an opportunity to promote our country, not just golf, but our country as a whole. This, of course, is a magnificent day for Exuma in particular, because we get to showcase Exuma on the international stage. One of the things that we have come to learn is that whilst a guest come for golf itself or a specific sport, a tourist with a purpose, we call them, there is significant economic benefit. They go into the community, they eat at restaurants, they invite their spouse or their family come along. If they're too busy playing golf or that sport that they come to play, they will come again. And next time they will come as a tourist, again with a purpose, but the purpose this time is to see the magnificence of our islands, to experience the warmth of our people, and to see the swimming pigs or whatever that treat is that they missed when they came and was very focused on sports itself. So it is the event, but it's also the spin-off economic benefit and the opportunity really to put our island on the international stage.
For more information on what's happening in sports tourism, visit tourismtoday.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Fixed and mobile services provided by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions helps our customers help their customers adapt to the new way of paying for things. Digital Wallets makes your transactions faster, more convenient, and secure. Whether it's using a debit card at the grocery store or making online payments for your monthly expenses, Digital Wallets powered by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions makes it better. For more information on our fixed and mobile services, contact the experts at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Throughout all of our Family Islands, a Family Guardian home service agent can meet all your insurance needs. We offer life, health, and property and casualty insurance policies to help protect you, your loved ones, and your assets. With offices in Abaco, Eleuthera, Exuma, and Grand Bahama, and agents throughout the islands of the Bahamas, a Family Island agent is always nearby. Family Guardian, at your service, at your door. For any inquiries, WhatsApp us at 357-9632.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Say goodbye to the clunky, old, outdated, tiresome way of buying insurance. Get covered in a click with First Online, a new online insurance portal from Bahamas First. It's the simple way to do insurance. Visit bahamasfirst.com to get an instant quote, pay premiums, and manage your claims anytime and from any device. First for our car and home insurance customers. It's another first from Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Investors get a reminder today that the Bahamas is indeed open for business. That coming from Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, during his address this morning to the Arawak X and the Pendry Cannon Group's event at Bahamar. The event featured investment writers who could attract opportunities to the Bahamas. Cooper's excited about the initiative.
I'm delighted that DRC Raming, a passionate Bahamian entrepreneur, He's blazing new trails. There's billions of dollars of influence in the room. And I am delighted to have been able to bring brief remarks today. We're looking forward to great opportunities in fintech. Financial services have been good to us. We now need to pivot to find new and creative opportunities. And I'm delighted that Mr. Ramming and his team, they're leading the way.
Co-founder and Chief Technology Officer Darcy Ramming Jr. believes events like this are important and is grateful to the Davis administration for its support.
The Pendry Cannon Group are the financial news writers. So what that means is when you're looking up investment advice, sometimes you sign up for a newsletter, right? Well, these group of people write to the retail investors, which is about 70 million Americans. So, excuse me. Which is about 70 million Americans. And so that is a lot of people that are reading these things, are excited to invest in our country. And it's about finding that mix of foreign investment and local investment so we can all kind of participate and grow the economy.
Well, give it another few weeks and customer transactions in the domestic and international parking facilities will be cashless. And this also in the case of processing payments for towed vehicles and ground transportation operators paying to access parking facilities at the Lynden Pindling International Airport. The change takes effect January 31st. NAD President and CEO Vernice Joaquin says the move to a cashless model is to reduce security risk and to inevitably improve processing efficiency. Now, for that customer base without debit or credit cards, Walker's assured that NAD's putting a contingency plan in place to accommodate payment from this group. Starting this month, cash can be used to purchase a debit card at Island Pay kiosk in both the domestic and international arrival terminals. The debit cards, valued at $5 all the way up to $500, can be used for parking and ground transportation and at more than 30 million merchants locally and internationally where MasterCard is accepted. UB has partnered with the Bahamas Crisis Center and Rotary Bahamas to say no to gender violence during today's White Ribbon Ceremony. To this end, an upcoming lecture series will be held under the theme UB Says No. UB President Dr. Rodney Smith says it is symbolic of the university's commitment to raise awareness about gender-based violence.
This campaign is keen to engage the students of UB and find male allies and forces to join and share the message that violence against women and children is abhorrent and wrong. Not only do we need to educate, we also need to work to ensure that there are good protective measures in place. I strongly encourage you to get as much education as you can. You can start by attending the series of Zoom presentations under the banner of UB Says No, given by UB lecturers and knowledgeable members of the Bahamian Society who have been working in this area.
UB's partners are grateful for the opportunity to generate more awareness on the social ill.
We cannot, as a country, condone, close our eyes to, accept this kind of violence. We have to stop it, and this is an opportunity for men to speak, for university students to speak.
We're proud to be a part of this, and Rotary will put its support where it can to end violence in this country.
We say no to gender-based violence because women and children all around the world should not have to live in their lives flinching in fear.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Gets better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Michael, let me borrow your car, please.
Don, I tell you I have to get my car license.
How long I can take, man? Let's go there now.
Why you need my car so bad?
It's old schoolmate, man. She'll meet up for lunch.
Well, I hope she's taking you somewhere nice because you know we ain't easily impressed.
You can pay for your license and inspections online now. They'll confirm your inspection appointment and bring the decal to your car.
I'm impressed.
The government's looking at the Family Islands to support the lucrative cannabis industry. Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs, the Honourable Clay Sweeting, recognizes the insufficient agricultural land available to develop the plant here in New Providence. His comments come as draft legalization will be completed the first quarter of this year.
I think islands such as Eleuthera, Andros, Abaco, Grand Bahama has a lot of property that we can use to maximize industry and in turn create opportunities for family islanders that this industry can actually touch the lives of Bahamians nationwide.
The Agriculture Minister is confident many Bahamians will be interested in developing cannabis once given the green light from the government.
I think that persons from a year or two ago, when the talk of marijuana legislation came about, that individuals started to scope for property themselves. It's not something that the ministry would do in regards to looking at where the property would be allocated. Our main concern now is to ensure that the legislation is done properly, to ensure that all Bahamians have access to be positively impacted by the legislation and not just a select few.
Well, the pandemic hasn't been all bad for local businesses. As Exuma Chamber of Commerce President Pedro Roll sees it, while they've been confronted with a lot of challenges on that island, COVID's nearly two-year chokehold on economies has also taught them a lot of lessons. Foremost is not falling into the trap of doing things the same way.
COVID came and there were some good lessons that we learned. How to be a more efficient business, how to operate from a perspective of how do we change the way we did business. So we don't always have to consider the brick and mortar aspect of everything else. Going into technology, how do we reduce our overhead and yet reach all of our customers in an efficient manner? So that's a critical area that we are working on, being a business in this environment today.
Now, for Kenneth Hutton, Abaco Chamber President, this year's short and long-term goals include continuing to rebuild the island and getting the small and medium-sized business sector back up and running 2+ years after Hurricane Dorian tore things apart. Meantime, in the case of his colleague Thomas Sands, continuing to build the Eleuthera Chamber's voice of credibility is critical.
There's still very large gaps. A lot of businesses have not been able to return, primarily because of our biggest issue, which is housing, which we continue to not have enough of here. So I think that's a probably until we can get past that hurdle where there's enough housing for people to actually live here, to be able to return, to rebuild their business. I think that's going to be one of our key challenges going forward.
We work to establish now a space which is the first business center on the island of Eleuthera, a shared workspace embracing technology, where we have on the island a very high speed of fiber connectivity with our partners at Cable Bahamas. We want to intend to continue to build that type of infrastructure and those types of solutions.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makushla, and welcome back. Outside of our studios just now, we have some patchy clouds with a cool temperature of 70 degrees. The relative humidity at 64%, northwest winds at 16 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,014.3 millibars. That is 29.98 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 68 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 68 also in Green Torquay, Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 66 degrees. The Berry Island, 71, Alisal, Bimini, 70 degrees, 70 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, all at 72 degrees. Fresh Creek, well, they are reporting 71 degrees, 73 in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, 74, 75 in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, and Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 77, Ackland, 77, Matthew Town, Inagua, 79, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas tonight, west to northwest winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Caution flags are up throughout the 700 islands tonight. High tide will take place at 7:36 this evening, and then tomorrow for all areas, the winds become northwest to north, further reducing to 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height subsiding 2 to 4 feet. Hence, we will drop the caution flags tomorrow. High tide, 8 a.m. in the morning, low tide at 2:30 in the afternoon. And as we take you into the middle of the week, in the northwestern parts of our country, the winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide at 8:37 in the morning with a low tide at 3:06 in the afternoon. In the central Bahamas, the winds are going to be northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast Bahamas, also northeast to east, but a little stronger at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So we maintain the caution flags for the southeast Bahamas on Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Look, I don't know who Sean they think I am, all right? I only win 2 BAISS championships. I deal with connectivity.
Alive. What do we got?
Well, we are 100% Bahamian owned, and we inspired all Bahamians to believe in best. And we delivered on revolutionizing telecommunications in the Bahamas. Not to mention, our network works in the good days and the bad.
Thank you. But I need you to go faster. Be better.
Say goodbye to the clunky, old, outdated, tiresome way of buying insurance. Get covered in a click with First Online, a new online insurance portal from Bahamas First. It's the simple way to do insurance. Visit BahamasFirst.com to get an instant quote, pay premiums, and manage your claims anytime and from any device. First for our car and home insurance customers. It's another first from Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Fixed and mobile services provided by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions helps our customers help their customers adapt to the new way of paying for things. Digital Wallets makes your transactions faster, more convenient, and secure. Whether it's using a debit card at the grocery store or making online payments for your monthly expenses, Digital Wallets powered by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions makes it better. For more information on our fixed and mobile services, contact the experts at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Sports, everyone. In news from the NBA, Buddy Hield with an explosive performance overnight. Hield finished Sunday's 118-112 loss to the Houston Rockets with 27 points, going 9 of 16 from the field and 5 of 9 from beyond the arc, to go with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 steals in 30 minutes of action. Hield was active defensively and looked comfortable in his sixth-man role, while it isn't clear if Hield remained there while Tyrese Halliburton is in COVID-19 protocols. Hield is turning the corner. After a tough December, he's rallied across 9 January games, averaging 16 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 1 steal, shooting 44% from 3. Well, a trio of young Bahamian baseball prospects fulfilling lifelong dreams as they would sign professional contracts with Major League Baseball organizations. First would be switch-hitting shortstop Ryan Reckley, who'd ink a reported $2.2 million deal with the San Francisco Giants. Reckley, the 9th-ranked international prospect according to MLB Pipeline, is considered one of the most talented infielders in the class.
I've paid off for the past 4 years. I've been a part of boxing for the last 4 to 5 years. It took a lot of hard work and dedication. It was sort of traveling with my coach Greg and CJ, and it took the support of my whole family. And I'm grateful to be their commitment. Expectations are high, you know. I come in the organization and I expect big things for myself, but I'm still learning myself as a player. Every day I go on the field, I learn to develop myself, and it's a process, but I hope to help this team win in any way I can, and I'm excited and motivated to help this team win.
And pro player Todd Isaacs Jr. was at the signing and says Bahamian baseball has definitely come a long way.
You know, today is a special day for, you know, not just Ryan Reckley, but, you know, baseball in the Bahamas. You know, it to me is such a cool experience to be in and be a part of a special occasion like this. You know, when I had the opportunity to sign in 2015, up until now, this was the first signing I was able to be on for, and to, you know, just be and see, you know, what this day means to him. You know, when he got up and gave his speech, it kind of gave me chills, because I remember what it was like being in that position, you know, just being in that moment, realizing that, you know, everything that you ever dreamed of as a kid is now coming true.
And joining their Bahamian brothers, Jazz Chisholm and Ian Lewis with the Miami Marlins, will be infielder Sharif Nemor and outfielder Toby Simmons, who inked their deals in front of family and friends at a press conference at the Balmoral Club. The pair are the latest I-League prospects to make the jump to the next level.
At the age of 11, Coach Duran reached out to my mom and said he would love to have me join this program at I-League. My mom said yes, and this is the beginning of something great. Coach Duran, thank you for seeing my potentials from the very beginning and everything you've done for me leading up to this moment.
My old coaches at Freedom Farm, who helped me up on the way, thankful for them. They helped me along the way. They can't be more thankful for you guys. To Coach Duran, Coach Albert, Coach Snipe, Coach P, and Coach Nico, like, thank you guys. Y'all pushed me to places I didn't always want to be pushed. But, you know, just got to go with it sometimes.
That's been a look at sports. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Savings all year long are at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Soy's mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $3.99. Rainbow spaghetti and meatballs, 15 ounce, 2 for $1.50. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 7 ounce, 99 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Sweet navel oranges, 4 pounds, $4.99. Shop Super Value and Quality Supermarkets and redeem your quality stamps at Bed Bath & Home.
Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays. BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment. Best rate, no delays. Best rate, no delays. a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
If you like a hearty, meaty burger, the A1 Steakhouse King at Burger King Nassau has it all. With flame-grilled beef, lots of bacon, cheese, and crispy onions on a sesame seed bun, the only thing that can top this is the tangy flavor of A1 steak sauce. The Steakhouse King is a meat lover's dream, and with an ice-cold Pepsi and hot fries, it's all you need to fill your day. Get your A1 Steakhouse King as a combo or part of the new King's Feast, only at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
With the local government election set to take place in just 10 days, Minister of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, says he is looking forward to refocusing and restructuring local government. It is his hope that the 617 candidates who have offered themselves for various positions will change the minds of those in their communities.
I think that a lot of local government practitioners, former practitioners, feel as if local government is just a rubber stamp, and they don't have any true authority to steer the direction of their communities or really to affect change that will really maximize what they would like to see their settlements be. Once we are able to amend the legislation to provide revenue-raising powers to increase the budget as we committed to in our blueprint for change for these districts, then they will feel as if they have the leeway to do a lot of things that they wanted to do.
Sweeting is hopeful for a full slate of candidates the next time around, as some areas are still vacant, leaving the minister to have the final say on several appointments.
The minister will have to appoint persons in a few of these districts because we did not have enough nominees nominate for local government elections in some of these settlements.
Sweeting will be traveling to his hometown in Eleuthera to vote in the local government elections. It is the minister's hope that once the elections are complete, to quickly get the ball rolling on legislation that will remove red tape and ease doing business on the Family Islands.
We're also working along with other ministries to decentralize a lot of these processes that has been centralized. The idea of local government was to really be able to get approvals, eliminate a lot of the red tape that would originally come from Nassau. And it seems as if we come full circle, and a lot of the items that we've decentralized was centralized again, and a lot of the approvals, applications and stuff has to now come back to Nassau for approval, then back to the Family Island. So we're hoping to eliminate a lot of that red tape as well.
Local government elections will be held on January 27th. That's next Thursday. A recount is scheduled for the 28th, and the official results are expected to be released by January 31st. Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy, or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, a strong cold front raced through the islands since last night. It's now just around the Turks and Caicos Islands and Inagua, and we expect it to exit the area by tomorrow morning. Behind that high pressure will continue to influence our weather over the next several days, rendering mostly sunny days and chilly nights. And the next front, by the way, would not get here until sometime on Sunday or Monday of next week. Our forecast for the night calls for clear skies, a bit on the chilly side with a low temperature of 59 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, very pleasant with a high temperature of 72 degrees. Extended weather forecast, things are going to remain in the 70s during the daytime right into Wednesday. Low temperatures, they're going to be in the 50s again tomorrow. About 54, by the way. Starting to warm up a tad on Wednesday, getting up to about 64 degrees. And then we'll get back into the 80s just temporarily on Thursday. But beautiful weather right into Friday. But come Saturday, we get a bit of clouds in our forecast, maybe some showers and an isolated thunderstorm, and then returning to mostly sunny conditions on Sunday. But by Monday, another front is expected to move through the area. Makushla?
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.